Welcome back to Music Theory Logic. Andrew here, and today I'm going to be talking about a song in a completely different style than most music that I've talked about on the channel. But if you've seen my social media, I refer to myself as musically obsessed. I like making heavy bass music. I like all sorts of popular music. I like rock and roll. And I also like songs that are just songs, like stripped back acoustic guitar and vocals. I've always been a huge Bob Dylan fan, a huge Neil Young fan. I really like Jim Croce. I just dig songs that sound really good with just minimal structures and vocals. And with my dance music alias, I started working with a singer right around the time I started that alias in 2014, and that singer's name is Preston. You hear him on a bunch of my d.r.u releases, like 5 or 6 songs, so you'll be really familiar with his voice. And he has his own jobs and has his own band in addition. And then I have my dance music alias. I have my other music stuff that I do for like visual media and my education stuff. So we have this new project that we finally released this song that I'm going to talk about today. It's called I'm All Right. The group is called OFFDAZE. And these songs, the term off days kind of comes from the fact that we were doing this on our off time. And the cool thing about this project to me is that all these songs, there was no goal when we wrote them. So hopefully you get the sense of sort of rawness that is that. So anytime I'm writing a song on an instrument, it's a little bit different mentally how I approach it to writing a song in the computer. And obviously music theory logic, I talk a lot about music theory, and there's one interesting music theory sort of concept in here. So this good song features acoustic guitar and harmonica and vocals. That's it. I will play, this is the intro slash verse sections. The next part, the chorus, is this. And so, first of all, I'm capoing up at the 3rd fret. For a lot of guitar players, we know the names of our chords when we're playing open chords, but the minute we start using a capo, we know that capo basically moves the chords up. But it can be kind of difficult recognizing what the new names of the chords are. So, ignoring the capo, I'm playing an E minor chord. That's what that first riff is based on. To a G. All right. With the capo, that's in reality a G minor and a B flat. So we could call that like a 6 to the 1. Second time I play that, it's the same E minor riff, and then I go to a C major 7. Again, that would be open voicing of that. To the G. The C major 7 in this key is an E flat major 7, and the G again is a B flat. So the chorus part, we get the E minor, D suspended second, so D sus2, to a G, to a C9, as we would call it. So a lot of added harmonies in this. It kind of gives the guitar this 12 string kind of feel, like there's some really bright, almost sounding open strings. Harmonically, we could define that as a 6 chord, a 1 chord to the B flat, the 1, and then a 4 again to B flat. So this song, we could talk about it as being in the key of G minor, or we could talk about it in the key of B flat. Since the main song, again, it's called I'm All Right, the final tag, we end on B flat. And so that was important. So let me back up a ways with this. When you're writing a song on a guitar, you don't really need to know any theory. You could go ahead and learn the songs that you like. That'll teach you a lot of different chord voicings, and then you could go to combine chords from this song with chords from this other song, and all of a sudden you have your own chord progression. and hopefully you really like it. So there's no really need to even know what key you're in at that point. One thing that might then be helpful if you're working with a singer, they might want to try it higher or lower. Knowing what key you're in helps you to transpose things. If, for instance, like I'm at E minor already and I want to go down, I have to go to a D minor, I could retune my guitar, or I could just think about what chords they were in the key of E minor and move it mentally and still play the song without changing the tuning, which is a really applicable skill. But for me, the main thing I need to figure out is what key is the song in, and the reason for that is for the harmonica. Now, we are going to drop a video doing this full song live. Check out Instagram. I'll link to a lot of the social media below. Now, this is a mount so that someone like me playing an acoustic guitar could play the harmonica without taking it out. But one thing you'll notice is that on the harmonica you hear vibrato. So that sound is created from using your hand on the back and opening and closing, the amount of sound you're letting through in essence. And so I can't do that while I'm strumming the guitar anyway. But harmonica is a really interesting instrument. I think this is probably the easiest instrument in the world to play to some small level. I don't mean to offend the harp players out there. Interestingly enough, about a harmonica, in bluegrass culture and blues and Americana music, a lot of times they call this blowing the harp. And again, it's a harmonica. And when you hear the term harp, it could also be like the harp depicted angels playing, if that makes sense. But harmonicas are easy to play to some level because most harmonicas are in a key. They do make chromatic harmonicas, chromatic harps, and I am nowhere near on a harmonica level able to play one of those. But the cool thing about harmonicas tuned to keys is this one is in B flat major, and that means that every note that I could possibly hit in this is in the key of B flat major. So understanding what key I was in was really helpful for me to ultimately know how to finish the song. Some other reasons you might want to know what key you're in is to tell other instruments that you don't play or other people playing other instruments, like what chord you are on. So the simplest way I can describe how to figure out like the names of the chords when you're playing a capo is to think about what note, when you're playing an open chord, where that note comes from. So this is an E minor, it comes from this E string. So whatever note this is at is then where we are for this chord. So that's the G minor, using my finger as the capo, or as people will say, a bar chord. So once again, I'll play the full section of the song, and then I'll link to it below. You should perhaps even pause this in the beginning and check out this original. But here's the different guitar parts for I'm Alright by OFFDAZE, released September 1st, 2022. Cool. So go check out the original to hear the great vocals. I really enjoyed the vocals on that. Once again, that singer's name is Preston, and he wrote those vocals on his own, and I really enjoy the lyrics. I hope you enjoy the music. We have a motto with OFFDAZE is that it's just music, bro. So if you don't like it, it's no problem to us. Once again, we didn't write these songs to try to somehow engineer a popular piece of music. We were just writing music that we express ourselves through and enjoy. If you found this helpful or interesting, you would help me out a lot by subscribing to the channel. And if you found this helpful and interesting, you would help us out a lot by going and streaming this song, perhaps buying it if you really enjoy it. We're selling it on Bandcamp with a high fidelity WAV file. And finally, if you have a playlist or want to show your friends, we will be eternally grateful to you. So thank you very much. Cheers to music, and have a wonderful day. I will see you next time.